Stage veteran Elzabe Zietsman returns to the Market Theatre this month. Zietsman will be performing her cabaret about gender-based violence as South Africa commemorates Women's Month. Now, most women are confronted by gender-based violence in South Africa, but not enough of us are talking about it. The Femme is Fatale story shines a light on violence against women and covers a range of topics relevant to men, women and anyone willing to listen. For more on this, I'm joined by the multi-talented Elzabe Zietsman. Thank you so much for coming through the studio.
What an absolute pleasure.
The pleasure is absolutely ours. So Femme is Fatale, a theatre offering shining a light on gender-based violence. It's an important societal issue. We're all supposed to talk about it, but why is it important to you personally?
I can't say that it's a personal issue. For me, it's as a cabaret performer, my job is to do social commentary or social political commentary. That is my job. And, you know, I'd been sort of out of the limelight for a very, very long time. And when all my kids were out of the house and I could really start performing again, I had to think, what is it that I want to do? And it was so obvious. It was just so obvious that that is the topic that I have to tackle because, you know, it's not only in rugby that we are world champions.
Yes.
Unfortunately, in femicide as well.
So what about cabaret, you know, besides being a vehicle for social commentary, lends itself to this piece in particular? Because women are so complex and multifaceted that, you know, perhaps a medium where you're combining storytelling with song is ideal?
I do think it is, because it just makes it a little bit more palatable, because it's such a difficult topic to speak about, and people are afraid. They back off the moment that they hear this is the topic that we are tackling. So we try to make it as palatable as possible, because the most important thing is that we need to talk about gender-based violence, and experts across the world agree that we can't stop it. We can't stop it completely, but we can bring it down. But the only way to bring it down is by talking about it. And it's been such a taboo topic for so long. And it's almost ingrained in us that we don't discuss it. We all know it's happening. We all know somebody that's in a situation like that, or we are ourselves in a situation like that. And if people just understand, if you talk, there could be help. Not only for you, but also for the perpetrator, because that person has got a problem and needs to be taught. So if we talk, we can bring down the numbers. It is possible. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm talking about it, but combining it with music and beautiful songs. I'm for the first time in my life really singing jazz standards in the show. And all of them just get a little bit of a twist, just to make it more accessible.
In talking, it doesn't help we preach to the converted. We want men to attend, but so often they're the first to shy away from anything that smells even remotely of, you know, feminism, women's lib, or gender-based violence, and because they feel threatened. You know, even the good guys, you know, they want to not talk about it because they feel, you know, brushed with the same tar brush. So if you're trying to reach out to them, to a male audience as well, and entice them to come and watch, tell them a little bit about the stories and the characters.
I preach a little bit, only a little bit. Basically what I'm doing is I'm telling the story of 3 women in South Africa. And it's all based on fact, although they are not real people. From all the research that we've done, we build 3 characters, but every single thing about them is fact from what has happened in our country. And I don't know how do you get people into the theatre to make them off, because you can't force people to go. So that is basically why I chose. No, that's not why I chose cabaret. I do cabaret because that's my forte. But I do think it makes it easier for men also to listen. And hopefully they do. So far, wherever I've performed it at the festivals and things, I've had an even balance between male and female, which was really great. Really great.
You do have an incredible team behind the scenes. Bruce J. Little wrote the cabaret. It's a contemporary cabaret, we have to say, but I love that, you've got jazz standards in there. Directed by Eloise Claassen. Tell us a little bit about the makeup of that team and what makes it so special.
Well, Bruce, I've known for quite a while, and when I still had my guest house with the private dining room where I did shows and stuff, Bruce approached me at some stage and he asked me if he could do his show, The Little Poof, there. And that was the first time that I encountered his writing, and I loved it. I really loved it. And he then sort of took a back seat and he didn't perform all that much anymore. But do yourself a favor and go and read his Facebook postings. So I just kept on reading his stuff. And when it came time for me, I'm not a writer. I'm a performer. And I stick to what I do best. I hate to do a half-assed job. So I do what I do best. So I perform other people's words when I ask them to write for me. So when it came time to create a new work, and I think, who am I going to ask to work with me on this one? It was a no-brainer for me. Bruce, it's going to be. It also helped that he's almost my neighbor. You know, he was just around the corner.
Proximity does help.
Yes. And so Bruce tried different angles, and he was really so great about it. He rewrote quite a few times, because I might not be a writer, but I'm a very good editor. And I really do know what is going to work on stage and what is not going to work. So Bruce really wrote and wrote until it was a perfect vehicle for me. And then obviously who to direct. And then Bruce was directed by Niels Claassen in The Little Poof show. And he said, well, what about Niels? And I said, no, it shouldn't be a man, even though a man wrote it. But I really don't think it should be a man. And he said, but then what about Niels's wife? And I said, that small one. And he said, yes. I thought, oh, well, you know, it happens so often in our country that the same people are used over and 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 over again.
Authenticity, you need a fresh voice.
I really wanted something fresh, and I phoned her and I asked her, what do you think? And she immediately said yes, and that was it. And she did a great job. She did a fantastic job.
I want to give people the opportunity to not just hear about it, but to go and watch it for themselves. So tell us where they can buy tickets and when you are on the boards.
I open tomorrow. Thank you to the Market Theatre, firstly, for giving me the opportunity to perform it in Women's Month. And then secondly, that I open on Women's Day, which is really, really special. So I'm opening tomorrow night at the Market Theatre. I only got 10 performances because that was the only space that the market could give to me. So this week I'm performing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. On Saturday I've got 2 shows, a matinee and an evening show. And on Sunday, a matinee. And then next week, only Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's it. Tickets are available on web tickets or on the Market Theatre website or at the door.
Well, there you have it. Femme is Fatale. Do yourself a favour, expose yourself to some theatre, broaden your mind and talk about gender-based violence. Thank you so much, Elzabe Zietsman and Chukus.
Dankie.